Roofers, Google just announced that the new AI mode for Google search might just be the new default experience for all searchers. That means that instead of the traditional map pack experience that you're used to seeing, followed by 10 blue links, it's going to be more of a conversational flow where you can ask it questions and get different recommendations based on the services that you need. So for roof repair and roof replacement queries, the squeeze is going to be real. Every other roofing company is going to be jumping on this opportunity to rank number one in the AI search. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to be breaking down the signals that AI is using to determine which roofing companies to show and some tweaks that you can make right now to start getting ahead of the game. Let's dive in. So let's just take a look at what's familiar. This is how Google is currently showing results for when you search for a roofing company in a city. We have our Google Guaranteed. These are your LSA ads. People are paying to be here. We have our Google Business Profiles, our map hack, which is probably one of your main drivers of leads if you are sitting here in the top 3. People also ask, and our traditional blue links, followed by some sponsored posts and the people also search for. This is your typical results page for a local search, and it's been this way for a while. So let's jump into what it's going to look like by going to this video that Google just put out that is talking about how Google search is going to be changing with the new AI mode. Let's give it a watch.
Now here we go. I can't help it if I'm popping, see them watch like it's outrageous how this flavor got them shook like.
Hold up.
I feel fabulous. Oh, I know you. Show me how you gon' work it out. I hit it back with a brand new style. Bring it up into the floor, get wild. We turning up all the way on the down like work it out. Come and show me what you're all about.
What else should I do to make it stronger?
To make it stronger, consider adding more triangles to the design.
FABULOUS every day like if you want it, come get it, no disrespect.
Hold up.
Work it out. I hit it back with a brand new style. Bring it up into the floor, get wild. We turning up all the way on the down like work it out. Come and show me what you're all about. I'ma shout it real loud and proud like, baby, I'm fabulous. Work it out. I hit it back with a brand new style. Bring it up into the floor, get wild. We turning up all the way on the down like work it out. Come and show me what you're all about. FABULOUS every day like if you want it, come get it, no disrespect.
Hold up.
So pretty eye-opening. Let's unpack that a little bit. So the way people interact with AI is way different than people interact with your traditional search bar. As you can see here, you can type in just such a long question that gets so specific to your situation. And then the AI is going to be able to take out all of that, look at a bunch of different sources, and be able to provide the best possible options for your specific problem. Before, it was just roofer near me. Now it's, there was a storm, I'm missing shingles, I have a roof leak. Who should I call and what should I do to have somebody come out as soon as possible to prevent any further damage? So people's answers are going to get way more specific and the results are just going to be completely different. The way the AI determines who to show, which businesses to show for those searches is different than traditional Google search. So a good way to start figuring out how these AI bots are deciding who to show for certain questions is to just go to the existing chats that we have, ChatGPT, we have Google Gemini, you can go to Claude and start experimenting. Give me the top 3 roofing companies in Boulder. I'm going to copy this. While that's going, I can ask Gemini the same thing. So we're in ChatGPT. We're in the O3 model, which is the latest, and it's been giving me some really, really good results. You can see here that it kind of takes a few different factors into account. It gave us how this list was compiled. I didn't even have to ask. So you can see it looked at 3 best rated 2025 lists, and it gave us the BBB business profiles. They look for the A+ ratings, number of years in business, and additional trust signals. It's really important to note here that it looked at these aggregation sites. It didn't even look at their Google business profile, number of reviews, Facebook. It looked at these third-party platforms to decide who to show. Google Gemini had different results. Here are some highly regarded roofing companies serving Boulder. Gave us some additional options, and it gave us some tips for how to talk to roofers. Let's just ask, how did you decide on these roofers? Which factors do you look at? It looks at online reviews and ratings. Naturally, Google Gemini is going to look at Google reviews. It looks at Angie, Better Business Bureau, another one. So it looks at all these different third-party platforms. That's the common factor that I keep seeing over and over again. Recency of reviews, the content of the reviews. So that's pretty similar to how the Google Map Pack shows results, is the content of the reviews themselves. Reputation and accreditations. It looks at your BBB rating. It looks at your industry certifications. Getting more certifications and listing those on your websites and everywhere that you can is going to be a factor that Google is going to be looking at in the future. Focusing on getting more awards and recognition. Something that a lot of these results kept showing was the number of years in business. So that's definitely important, which could make it a challenge for younger companies to start standing apart on these platforms. In ChatGPT, it did try to pick businesses that have been around for a long time. And then here it says local presence. So local companies generally are more familiar with Boulder's specific weather patterns. So it did put some weight on them being very specific to their service area. Additionally, I looked at their range of services. They want to be able to see that you are proficient in multiple types of roofing materials. I would imagine that information comes from the Google Business Profile and the website. So make sure that you have all of your types of services, all of the materials that you work with, and get very specific with it, because the AI is going to be smart. And if searchers are searching for specific types of shingles that they have and need, then the AI is going to be able to pick that apart on your website. And lastly, it's looking for transparency and professionalism. So it's looking for evidence of good communication. And again, the AI really does want to be able to provide the top roofing companies. And so it does really look for all of these factors on your website, in your reviews, warranties, proper licensing and insurance. So all of this has to be able to be found on your website or online somewhere for the AI. So I went through and I asked the AI bots to break down those factors for me and what should I focus on as a roofer that wants to be able to appear in those AI searches. It gave me a whole lot of stuff, and you can come into Gemini and ChatGPT and play around with this and research all of this on your own. But at the end of the day, I had it give me the 5 most important things to focus on as a roofing company to stay ahead of the AI game. And it gave me all of this, which is awesome. And I did the same thing for ChatGPT, and it gave me some 5 slightly different answers. And I wanted to make this easy on you guys. So I actually aggregated these answers into a Notion doc, which I will have in the link in the description. So check that out, download this document, and be sure to read through it in depth, because this is super important for being able to dominate AI search in 2025 and beyond. Gemini gave us 5 answers. So 1, master the GBP. Google is going to be using your GBP data. So add as much information as you can into your Google Business Profile. Maximize it. Deep EEAT driven content for AI consumption. EEAT is experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It's a buzzword that's been going around the AI or the SEO community for years now. It's important to be able to showcase your expertise and position your website and yourself as an authority on the roofing industry. Implement structured data schema markup. So this is, I won't get into this, but this is just some code that you can add to your website to provide more structure for Google to be able to crawl it. Optimize for conversational and long tail queries. So this is going back to those longer tail questions that people are going to be searching into AI search bars. We want to be able to start answering more specific questions to our local audience. So make sure it's local, make sure it's specific. And that can be done in the form of blog posts or FAQ sections. Focus on the brand footprint. So focus on your footprint across the internet, all of your citations, all of your social media, all of the directories. You have as much information about your business in all of these places as possible, and make sure it's consistent. This is important. Make sure your name, address, and phone number is consistent across all of these directories. You shouldn't have different phone numbers for every different directory that you're on. So that's Gemini's take on it. So ChatGPT had very similar ones. Make yourself the clearest roofing related entity in your city. Again, that's very similar to Gemini's response. Make sure that you have a good footprint, a good online footprint, where you have your Google business profile, your Bing, your Apple listings all set up. NAP Harmony, again, just making sure that you have service as entity pages. So make sure your services are listed across the internet. Do the structured data. That's the same thing that Gemini recommended. Architect content for extraction. So this goes back to traditional SEO, where you have your heading tags, you have short single idea paragraphs. Problem, solution, cost, next steps is a great format for a lot of these things. And then have a key takeaway box. So all of these things have been kind of going around the SEO industry for the past few years. So there's nothing totally new here as far as that goes. Reviews and reputation signals, always super important. Then a more traditional SEO signals. So this is saying that the LLMs still echo top 10 blue link sets 99% of the time. So classic SEO is still important. Backlinks are still important. Local press and PR still important. And additionally, original media, videos, photos, infographics, anything that you can provide these LLMs is super important for them to be able to display you for various types of media. I summarized all of these just so you have, here are the top 5 things I need to go do in just a few words. So maximize your digital footprint, create local long tail content in your blog, online. It doesn't have to just be on your website. It could be on social media too, YouTube. Implement structured data. I'll push out another video on how to do that. Get high quality reviews. That's always going to be important. Review aggregation. And then maybe think about start placing your reviews on different platforms. So not just Google Business Profile, but also Facebook, Angie, wherever else, Yelp. Have a more of a diversity to where you're getting your reviews. And lastly, traditional SEO signals will be continued to be important. So those are kind of the top 5 things that we're seeing in terms of how AI is choosing which businesses to display in their results. If you want to continue getting updates like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be pushing updates on the future of search and AI and how your roofing business is going to be generating leads in the future. It's critical for roofing businesses to be forward thinking on this stuff and not get stuck behind in the past. My agency is hyper focused on this right now, building out systems to implement all of this stuff for our clients. So if you want to have a conversation with me, just go ahead and check out my channel and click on the link in there and book that call with me so that we can start getting to the bottom of how your business is going to appear at the top of all these AI searches and get all of those leads coming down the pipeline in the future. Thanks for watching. Catch you again on the next video.